Hello, this is Kev.
And Lil. We're discussing relationships in all of its forms and everything in between.
We've been together over 30 years. We've seen some things together and apart.
So if you want to laugh or need advice, come spend some time with Kev and Lil.
Have we met?
Hi, everybody. We are back, and we've got an interesting topic this week.
Yes.
Also, we're showing these things.
Our merch.
Look, my nipples look a little hard in this. I'm so excited. I definitely am getting excited by looking at her shirt.
Stop it.
No, but look, how vain are we that we have our pictures on our shirt, our chests. Look at us. But to go with our sign, that Kev and Lil, pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Anyway.
Sincerely, begin the topic, my dear Lil Leah.
Okay, reasons why husbands leave their wives for someone else.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun.
This could be rough. I'm a little nervous. I didn't.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I'm doing this on the fly. Of course, Lil has a lot of notes there, and I'm just gonna give my opinion on things, so to speak. But go ahead, dear.
Okay.
Start with the first one, please.
Number one. He is bored in the marriage. Sometimes people get bored in a marriage. A friend shared a fear about committing to one woman for a lifetime. He said he feared that he would get bored at some point, as he naturally loses interest in things that once excited him. He constantly seeks to do new things. Therefore, he fears that this trait of his may affect his decision to spend the rest of his life with only one woman. I'm not done yet. If the fun that used to be in their relationship no longer exists, a man may seek fun and excitement elsewhere. I'm going to say what I think, and then you could just go ahead. I think this is like the grass is always greener type of thing scenario. The FOMO, fear of missing out, like, oh, there's a lot of fish in the sea, so why should I just stick with this one? Or getting stuck in a rut. They get bored because it's the same thing over and over and over again. The monotony of it all. We get into basically a rut, yeah. No variations. So we got to make things interesting. I'm sorry, our dog is...
Being
being needy today.
Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go. Out. You're making us look bad. Go away.
She just wants love.
Yes, and I do love her. Okay, so my opinion. Well, I think this comes with an earlier episode of ours. Emotional immaturity or emotional intelligence. You've got, and I've heard that before but I've heard that when I was much younger. These guys or these husbands or these guys that were in relationships that were talking about, oh, yeah, I'm bored. Go find a hobby. You committed to someone. You committed, and don't get me wrong, I understand there are certain parts of your life where maybe it's you've tried everything, you feel that you've tried everything, and yeah, it's time to go. But boredom, let me tell you, we've been together, as we've said in our previous episodes, in our pre, from the beginning of this episode, you're going to hear it. We've been together over 30 years. There is still crap that we have still find out about each other. There is no way we get bored of each other. And let me tell you, when she takes off that shirt, I am not bored.
What? Come on.
But no, but sincerely, I'm like, I don't get that. I think that's just so childish and that's so immature. The boredom. Go freaking bungee jump if you need excitement. Go jump out of an airplane. Whatever. The
Go
marriage or
swim
a
with the shark.
relationship. Or hey, I did want to swim with sharks, and I did want to jump out of an airplane, but it had nothing to do with the relationship. That just had me wanting to find something new and probably, yeah, the midlife crisis thing.
I was gonna say.
Although I'm probably past the midlife crisis point of my life, I'm in my 50s now. But
Reaching the golden
because
years.
let's be honest, people, midlife crisis is in your 30s. Don't get it twisted. We told our son that the other day and our daughter-in-law, and they were like, no, we're not. I said, yes, you are. Yes, you are. In your 30s. Because let's be honest, you're lucky if you live into your 70s. I mean, let's just be honest.
Well,
but regardless of that,
I would say late 30s,
But-
early 40s.
but,
is
and
the
that's
mid.
where they are. They're in their late 30s. But again, regardless of that boredom, get out of here with that garbage. Boredom. Again, go play some Monopoly if you want to get bored, really bored. Stop it. Stop with that. That
But-
just bugs me to all. Just even hearing boredom as the reason. Again, no, you're looking for something that's not really there. There's that movie, that movie. I forget the movie. It's with Janet Jackson and Malik Yoba, and it's a Tyler Perry movie. I think it's called Why Did I Get Married?
Oh, wow.
And one of the characters in that movie has something called that she wrote. I think it was Janet Jackson has a book or has a theory of the 80-20 rule, where you're in a relationship and they're giving you 80% of what you need and 20% you're trying to find outside of it. And you know what? That's a cop out. That's a cop out of you being a horn dog, trying to find something better somewhere else. Because, am I really going to get laid with the same person for the rest of my life? Yeah. And you know what? If you're lucky,
It gets
you are.
better.
Let me tell you, I am not knocking that whatsoever. Well, I am knocking it, so to speak, but not knocking it in the bad way. So, no, that's just stupid. Boredom that annoys me just
Well-
even hearing that.
Every time somebody new that we meet, or somebody that doesn't really know how long we've been together, and we tell them how long we've been together, and they're like, wow, what's the secret?
Yeah, we've spoken about this
Yeah,
before too.
and we're like, there's no secret. It's hard work. You have to work at our relationship. Listen, we're not perfect. We've
We were just
been
getting
wanting
over
to
a rough
break up,
spot.
get together.
We were going
We've
over a
had-
rough patch just recently.
Yes.
Yes, because I needed to be held. And she didn't want to hold me.
Anyway, so like I was
Hey,
saying,
I'm just being honest. I just wanted to
you
be
need
held.
to work at it. You need to see what their needs are. Like he needed to be held, so I held him for a bit.
We go back to the 5 love languages thing. Trust me, and it's a fact. She needs what is it? Oh my gosh, what's the one of them? The not words of affirmation. She needs not receiving gifts. I'll get it later. But the point is, I know what one of hers is, and sometimes I don't give it. Just like she doesn't want to give me physical touch, and don't get me wrong, she's good about words of affirmation. She is good about that. But the physical touch, she sometimes lacks. But again, hey, I got to be patient. She wants to. She don't do that. You might we may have to
is
pause.
why.
We may have to pause the video. You keep
This
doing
is
that.
why, people.
But
I
again,
ain't got time for that.
Ah.
We're in the middle of a podcast.
all right. Next one. Come on, we're taking too
Okay,
long.
number 2, he falls out of love with her. If a man no longer loves his wife, everything she does will no longer interest him, making it easier to notice other women. Then it gets to the point where he begins to compare his wife with another woman, and he gradually concludes that the other woman is the new love of his life. In situations like these, his communication and conflict resolution efforts will reduce. So the zeal and will to make things work out in the marriage may disappear, thereby making his heart fonder for his new love interest. Mike, I have a question for that one. I'm like, how Or why does he fall a lot out of love with her? Is there anything that the spouse can do to change it? Is it too little, too late? Because it says basically that it fizzled out and he's not interested. But my question is, what made him
Fizzle out.
fizzle out and not love her?
I think that goes with emotional immaturity as well, or emotional intelligence, because it's a matter of, you went into a relationship expecting so much, right? And you have to understand that relationships have different stages. It's not going to be hot and heavy all the time.
It's not going to be
Certainly
the
not going to be
honeymoon
hot and
stage.
heavy. Certainly not going to be hot and heavy forever. You know, I go back to, my references are horrible, but I go back to this episode of Friends, and I remember it was Monica and Chandler, and they were looking, and Monica wanted to keep up with Phoebe's new relationship with this guy that he was a cop, and it was hot and heavy.
Oh, yeah. Phoebe.
And she wanted to keep up because she was like, oh, our relationship is not hot and heavy anymore. And Chandler, actually, of all characters, said, no, we're not. We're at a different stage of our relationship.
Exactly.
And you know what? I like the stage we're in right now. We know who we are. We, when the doors are closed, behind closed doors, we know what we can do with one another.
You know each other's spots.
Right, yeah, so to speak that. But again, and then the next stage from that is going to be even better, because it's going to be a new stage there. And don't get me wrong, again, when the doors are closed, behind closed doors, am I boring you? Sorry if I'm boring you. No, but there's different stages to the relationship, and you have to be welcoming and accepting and grateful. Yes, go back to our other episode of gratitude.
Grateful, yes.
Be grateful for the stage you're in, because again, you're evolving in a relationship, and you got to be like, no, man, yeah, fine, it's not hot and heavy anymore. I remember there was a time, what was it, like the first 2 years we were together, it was every night. Other than that time,
Anyway.
But hey, it was but again, but I got to tell you now, when it does occur, let's be honest, when it does occur, it's like, it's good, man. It's like,
Anyway.
damn, I wish this was more often. But you know what? Whatever. It is what it is, and it's good, Joe. Let's just put it that way.
So like I was saying, I think it goes back to the first one. He gets bored. And
Right.
he thinks like the grass is greener, like this other chick is going to be my new love. And sometimes when that happens, they do leave their wife for the other woman. And then as time goes on, they realize they made a mistake. This is not the one for him either. And then when he wants to go back to his wife, she's gone on with her life.
She's done.
And, that's what you get.
She's done. Next up.
Number
Next one.
3, he feels disrespected. A man who feels constantly disrespected could also leave his disrespectful wife for a woman who makes him feel like a treasure. You're a treasure. A woman can disrespect her husband in many ways, which may contribute to his resolve to leave her for another woman. If she talks down on him, does not value his opinion, compares him to other men, that's not cool, guys, undermines his contributions, etc., he may move on to the other woman who makes him feel respected. I think you should always make your significant other feel valued. And don't talk down to them. They're not children. That's your partner. That's not your child, even though sometimes they do act like children. But
I'm biting my tongue.
don't talk down to them. Listen to their opinion. No one likes to be compared to anyone else. You don't don't do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. You like to be compared. I don't like to be compared to his exes. Absolutely not.
No, you don't. You can't compare to them.
This is why I love you. Anyway, yeah, I think you should always listen to the other person's opinion. Don't, if you disagree, just agree to disagree then. Just don't put down their feelings or disrespect them, and listen to their to what they're.
My turn. My turn. It's funny that you mentioned exes. There was a short relationship I was in before we were together. And I won't mention the name, but oh man, talking down to the person. This person just did not know when to stop, and I stopped her one day and I said, you need to stop speaking to me that way. I mean, literally, she would say something to me, and I don't want to speak of it verbatim, but it was to the extent of, I'm not going to let any little mother effer treat me like that, and, because you're nobody, and you're nothing.
But why did she say that?
Honestly, I can't even remember, and it wasn't even anything I said. I was like, she was just talking as if for an example. Yeah, as an example, and I said, well, I didn't say anything. Why are you speaking to me that way? She goes, no, I just want to let you know that you can't do that to me. And I'm like, but I didn't do that to you. Why would you even need to let me know that? All I've done is given you respect, haven't I? Yeah, but I just want to let you know. I was like, see,
she was probably working through.
She was. She had her past issues.
Yeah.
She definitely had past issues, and she was projecting them upon me. And I stood there like, yeah, this isn't something I need. This is not something I want to deal with.
Get out of it quick.
Oh man, let me tell you, if I get into I remember the one long conversation she had when I had to break up with her. And I didn't do it face to face, but I got to tell you,
I did not use a Post-it.
No, of course not. I did do it over the phone because I just didn't want to see her. She was so toxic. She was, oh my God, she was ridiculous. And I said, no, I don't think we can see each other anymore. I think you're in a place where you have issues that need to be dealt with. And I want to say that breakup took 2 hours.
Wow. From
the cry. I mean, it was so textbook. She was crying. I mean, I don't want to get into all that, but, and all this stuff. And, I just want to have a baby. I'm like,
what?
Okay. Yeah, this is what she came out. And I said, well, good luck. I said, good luck to you. And she goes, no, but you wouldn't want to have a child with me? I said, no.
Kevin,
not even a little bit. No. But you know me. You know me well enough at this point that all I am is honest. And sometimes, unfortunately, I can be brutally honest. And especially at that time, I was very brutally honest. I was like, no. She goes, well, you don't think I'd be a good mother? I said, maybe to somebody else's kid, but not mine.
You're horrible. Okay.
I told her flat out.
Well, let's just thank God.
You want to continue? Let's continue.
And you're not together.
Yes. You lucked out. You lucked out.
Number 4.
Oh, wow. What a segue.
He feels choked. And
I'm not into that.
Listen, Linda. The responsibilities of marriage and parenthood may become overwhelming for a man, especially if he hasn't prepared for such. This is why there seem to be more deadbeat fathers than mothers. It appears easier for men to flee from the responsibilities of parenthood than women. In search of breathing space, a man may run into the arms of a child-free woman. He could also feel choked if the wife monitors his every move and does not respect his privacy. This is common with extremely jealous women who let their jealousy prevent their men from socializing. In my case, I used to date someone that after 2 years, by the way, I was with my eldest. Jeremy was around like 1.5-year-old. And after 2 years, he decided he wasn't ready for an instant family. My son fell in love with him. I thought we had a future together. I mean, it's not like he didn't know I had a child. He knew I had a child. And I did it with him. I did it with everyone I dated before. I would let them know I'm a package deal. I do not surprise you with the child. I do not say, by the way. No, you know what you're getting into. But after 2 years, he decided to break up with me because the instant family thing wasn't for him. As for trust, I feel if you're trustworthy and you feel you don't have anything to worry about and feel confident that your husband won't stray, give him the space, give him his space, and you take yours as well. Okay? Don't suffocate, because I think that's what they should have said instead of choked, because that's
It's the
weird.
same concept.
Yeah, don't suffocate your significant other. I keep on saying husband because obviously we're married, but don't suffocate your significant other. Give them the space that they need, and be secure with yourself. This jealousy thing, I mean, sometimes they do like to feel like you're jealous, but
Yeah, I
don't
can admit that.
overdo it.
I could admit that.
Yeah.
I do a lot. I do appreciate a little jealousy, because then it makes me feel like, oh well, she still wants me. Not that she doesn't show it anyway, but it's nice. It's nice. It's the choke thing. It's funny. My friends, for the most part, the ones that I actually consider friends, none of them have been really deadbeat dads. The ones that I've considered friends. Now, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of guys that I grew up with. There's a couple that I may have been related to. That they felt like, oh, it wasn't for me. I'm not gonna be a dad and whatever. Dude, if you're gonna look, I'm gonna be vulgar, but if you're gonna stick it in, then be prepared for what's coming out. All right. And this is coming from a guy that, yeah, I raised someone else's child. And you know what? It was hard for me at first, just because, yeah, it wasn't my child. Yeah, it wasn't, I didn't exactly have a say in the beginning, which is fine. In the long run, it didn't matter. But I got to tell you, one of the, and I probably have said this before, and I definitely will say this again, one of the greatest compliments I ever got was from a guy I worked with. And when I told him that, yeah, I have an older son, and I have two sons. One, my wife had him prior to me meeting her, and he gave me the greatest compliment ever. And he goes, there is nothing more noble than a man that is willing to raise someone else's child. And this was told to me, wow, how many years ago has it been? It's got to be a lot, maybe 11, 12 years ago at this point. And I still take that with me today. And I wear that thing like a badge of honor. Because I got to tell you, yeah, there have been times that I'm like, oh, this freaking kid. But then there's other times that I go, man, I am so freaking proud of him.
Yeah.
He's raising 3 children of his own. And that's one thing I could say, and maybe he learned that, he got that on his own, but I definitely tried to instill it in him that if you're having children, you better take care of those kids.
Yeah.
You better be in their lives, and don't give me that, oh, I feel suffocated, or I feel choked, or whatever the hell, whatever analogy you want to come up with. But no matter what, because let's be honest, and I'm going to mention something, and unfortunately he's no longer around, but I'm going to mention something. Again, I'm sorry if I'm boring you.
Sorry.
Um,
I'm tired.
but I remember this conversation I had when your father passed away. And I had it with his siblings, your aunt and uncles. And I said to them, I said, let me tell you something. My son, your nephew, so to speak, that you're just meeting, I said, one thing I made sure that I instilled in him was that no matter what, he is to stay in his children's lives. Financially, emotionally, whatever he can do, make sure he stays. And I got to tell you, that is one of the proudest moments for me as a stepdad, which I don't call myself a stepdad. I am his father, because, hey, the true deadbeat of his father never was in his life. And if you ask him, he is going to tell you, I'm his dad. because I'm the one that stuck around. I'm the one that has nurtured him. I'm the one that has advised him if he wants advice. Even when he doesn't want advice, sometimes I tell him stuff. But no matter what, and I love him to death, that no matter what, he knows very well that even if we have opposing opinions,
Which you usually do.
he knows very well that no matter what, I've got his back.
And not only that, but he saw that I had a deadbeat dad, and his biological
Yeah, his
father
sperm
was
donor.
a deadbeat dad.
His sperm
So
donor.
he broke that cycle. He was like, I
And
am
I'm
not
so
doing that
proud
to
of
my
him
children.
for that. I am
you know?
so proud of him for that.
Yeah.
You know?
But the thing is, it takes a man, okay? Because that sucks. How are you just going to get up and leave and says, this is not for me? And it does say that it's happened obviously more with men than it does with women. But what if women can do that? You know, it's like, God forbid we get up and go because, oh, no, I can't deal with it. I'm not saying that.
Oh, it's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened. It's
I'm not-
happened plenty
That's
of
what
times.
I'm saying. I'm not saying that
I,
they don't
I have
do it.
I have an example, but I don't know if I should mention it.
No, don't mention. But the point is, women do it, but not as much as men. Men get away with it. They're leaving kids everywhere. And you know what? And it's not only just like regular folks like you and I. These men, or as they're younger, they're growing up to be men. They see it happening with their idols, their sports athletes, and you know, they're just having kids everywhere. Just because you have the money to raise those kids or to put them through whatever, they
not just
still
about
need you to
money.
be in their
It's not
lives.
just about money. And in fact, it's less about the money than it is about just the emotional backing. How many kids have turned to you or me and go, you're my dad, or you're my mom, you're like your mama, your papa.
Yeah, mama.
We had an example yesterday that just came by yesterday.
My baby David.
Right? He comes over and he's like, Papa. He goes, oh my God, you know, I miss you so much. And I'm like,
We
oh my
miss him.
gosh. Yeah,
But he's
and
being
even
an adult. He's
and-
working and doing his thing.
and the kids the boys, and usually it's the boys I notice too, but it's the boys that come over and they're like, you're like my dad. And I'm going, I go, but you have a dad. And I'm going, and I try to say you have a dad, but then I understand what they mean. Or, you know, you're like my uncle.
Yeah,
and
like our
this and
second
that.
dad or
You know,
someone
and I
that they
go,
look
you know what? That really touches me.
Yeah.
That really touches me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a kid toucher, but I'm just saying that really touches me in a way.
Why?
What?
You
I'm
know
just saying.
Number 5.
Number 5.
He feels neglected, uncared for. One of the reasons why we get married is to meet each other's needs. But if a married man feels single because his wife has neglected him and he couldn't be bothered about his needs, he may decide to have his needs met elsewhere. More often than not, it is about the emotional and sexual needs of a man that makes him feel so neglected. This reminds me of also a Friends episode with Rachel and Ross.
They were on a break.
No, they were not on a break.
They were on a break.
And they were not on a break. They were dating.
Go ahead.
Has a play date with his son,
Oh.
with the woman. She finds out that this woman is a stripper, right? It's like a stripper.
Yeah. She was the stripper at the bachelor party.
Yes. So she has a child the same age as Ben, so he has a play date. And the guys, the group, were like, Rachel, you going to let him do this? She's like, yeah, why not? It's a play date with the kids. And so when they tell him that she's a stripper, she was like, and before he leaves, she makes out with him and gets him all like bothered. And then she's like, yeah, that's right. So he can know what he's got home. And then Joey's like, yeah. Or Chandler goes, oh, yeah. Or you sent him to a stripper all hot and bothered.
You can do that anytime. If you want.
And there's a saying that they say you can't send them out hungry.
Yeah, because it's like the supermarket thing.
Yeah. So just don't send them out hungry. Give them a little something to keep them, you know.
Yeah, do that. Don't just talk it.
Doing?
Don't just talk about it. Do that.
Shut up. Let them,
hitting
let
me
them know that they are loved and give them a little something and send them off. They also need to know, even though you can't give them the attention they want at that moment, that you will be there for him when he gets back.
Well, this goes with what I was saying a little earlier, where I said that I need physical touch. And don't get me wrong, it's not about the sex. And you know very well, you should know by now, because this is, oh, but it always leads to that. I said, no, it doesn't always lead. Don't get me wrong, I would love
Girls,
for
they
it.
always start with the back rub, and you know where that's going to end up.
Give me a
okay?
moment. Let me
Listen,
finish.
I have a load in the laundry.
And I have a load in
chicken
me,
in the oven.
okay, that I need to get.
I got stuff
Yeah,
to
it's
do,
like
places
that,
to go, pick
like Beverly, what was it, like Real Housewives of New Jersey. It's poison. I need to get the poison out. No, but no, seriously, it's not even about that, and you know very well it's not about that. I mean, I am such a sap. I'm such a freaking sap. At times, I just need to be. I need to hold her. And you know that's true. You know, don't just nod yes.
It's true.
Say yes.
Yes, yes.
Because this is a visual as well as an audio. Okay. Yes, I need that. I need, one of my favorite things, and it just happened earlier, is when I come home and she comes to the door like Edith Bunker when Archie used to come home.
Oh,
and, she's like, "Ah,"
Archie.
and she comes over and she's like, oh my God, Daddy's home. And yeah, I'm going to take a little
Dog gets
advantage
so
of it.
excited. And he's like, why can't you get excited like a
Yeah,
dog?
and don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting a lot, but yeah, you know what? It's nice. I need that.
But you know
that,
what?
That
No,
affection.
no, no. I do that. And I'm like, yay, daddy. So I get excited. The dog gets excited. Everybody's excited. Ask him how he is. He's got that face on.
Hold on a second. I didn't have a face when you did it. I was like, hey, wait a second. I'm gonna take advantage of this.
But I do it every day.
No, you don't do it every day.
I don't
You
say
were- you were-
daddy's home.
Yeah, but you don't
we
come
get
to
all
the
excited
door.
because you're home.
You don't always come to the door. You're like, oh, Daddy's
Well, because
home.
I'm either
And the
cooking or
dog,
doing
the
shit.
dog is happy, and I'm like, okay, great, the dog is happy, but I'm not gonna get what I need from the dog because I ain't that type of guy. I'm like,
babe, why you always gotta go
what
there?
am I
You know
going
what?
there with?
Number 6, he no longer finds his wife attractive. Over time, some men complain about losing interest in their wives' bodies. This loss of interest will obviously lead to a loss of sexual attraction. It could stem from factors ranging from
Familiarity.
thank you, to body changes due to aging, childbearing, accident, ailment, and so on. Therefore, he no longer finds sex with her exciting. Consequently, he may leave his wife for women whose body retains his sexual attention. This one burns my cookies. Yeah, women's bodies change when they go through an ailment. Like I said, some women have breast cancer. They have to have their breasts removed and or whatever. The point is, sometimes we gain weight and our bodies changes after having children. Their children, by the way. That is so,
Shallow.
yes, it is. Thank you. It's so shallow. It's like, seriously? What, you guys don't get beer bellies and guts and flabby, whatever? You lose your hair. Come on, man. You get nose hairs, hair coming out your ears. Come on. It's so superficial. That's the word I was looking for. So
Superficial as well,
superficial,
yes.
but get over yourselves. You know? I mean, it's just bullshit, guys. It's bullshit. He can kiss my ass if he ever feels like that.
Well,
Bye-bye.
I don't have a problem with kissing you.
Either he loves me as is or start stepping. That's what I say. He hates it when I say that. However, your significant other might show concern on your health and would like to point out and help. Like, let's say if I gain weight and he's worried about my health. That's different. Because he's like, honey, you know, I love you. And he always tells me I could wear a sack of potatoes and he thinks I'm gorgeous.
Because I know what's under that sack.
But
And I know what you
sometimes
could
I
do
go
with
up and down, and sometimes more up than down. So
I don't mind either direction.
he worries about my health, like diabetes, heart disease.
High
So
blood
that
pressure.
I understand, but there's a way to handle that.
There's a way to speak about it.
Yeah.
There's a way to speak.
And that doesn't mean you no longer find me attractive.
Not even a little.
So I'm just saying, like, if you feel that your significant other is changing certain ways, do things tactfully, like, babe, I'm worried about your health. Let's go hiking. Let's go to the gym together. Let's go pickleball.
Don't you even start because you haven't played it yet. You don't know.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it's like the craze right now. But don't be assholes about it. Don't.
Because language. Oh,
I'm sorry, but this one really pissed me off. You could talk now.
Oh, gee, thank you. I appreciate that. Like I was saying, it's a shallow notion. I mean, for you to even think that, you went into this, what did you think? She was going to look 22 for the rest of her life? And do you really think you look 22 for the rest of your life? Come on, or whatever age it was that you got together. Get over yourself. It's, come on. It bothers me to even think about this, that you're really, for you to even think this, it's just, I look at people and I'm going, what the, I saw this meme earlier today, and it was like, it was a repeat of something, where somebody said something, and the thing actually said, oh, well, her looks are not going to last forever, so she better do something about it now, because, I might have to go on to the next wife. I said, mother effer, what makes you think that she ain't thinking about the next husband? What makes you really think that you got it to that extent that she's thinking, oh my God, I can't find anybody that's going to look as young as you for the rest of you. Get over yourself, dude. If you're thinking that, what makes you think the person your wife is not thinking that? Or better yet, if she's thinking that as well, then you know what? Then you are the idiot that got with her to begin with. Oh my gosh. Really? And if that's what you got together for, then you got together for the wrong reasons. That's all.
Beauty fades,
that's all I gotta
guys.
say.
Beauty fades.
That's all I gotta say. You got
It's the
together for the
inside
wrong
that
reasons.
matters. Not only that, but what if the person's going through, like I said, it's going through medical issues?
That's a topic for another episode.
No, but
That's
I'm
not
just
even
saying,
here.
it's like,
I know
how
what you mean.
self-involved can you be that, okay, fine, she put on a couple of pounds. Oh, I think I'm going to leave her for somebody else that's thinner. Or
Whatever.
Listen, she's probably depressed because you're an a-hole. She's eating because you're an a-hole.
Absolutely.
And she probably wants out of this relationship, and she doesn't know any better. But anyway.
Next one.
Number 7, he is sex-starved. Shush. Sexual starvation has pushed many men to leave their wives for another woman. Sex is one of the commonest reasons.
Commonest?
That's what it says right there.
Okay.
Commonest reasons. Excuse me. Some marriages have broken down irreversibly. I'm so tired. You know what it is, guys? I haven't had dinner yet. So what does that say?
You want me to read it? Let me see what you got here.
I can't see.
Irretrievably.
Thank you. Can you read the rest?
A man may want to have sex with his wife, but she refuses to oblige him. She starves him of sex, and when he no longer finds the situation tolerable, he opts for another available option to satisfy his urges.
Sorry. I'm really hungry. I don't believe using sex as a bargaining chip. I don't think that should ever be done. I'll give you something for something else.
You don't believe that?
No.
Really?
Did I ever do that to you?
Why don't you finish?
Okay. No, I want to know.
Finish what you were saying.
Tell me, what have I bargained for?
Well, I wouldn't say bargain, but you definitely hold it over my head. You have held it over my head plenty of times.
What, I said I'll give you something so you could give me something back? No.
Yeah. Yes, you have. And maybe you don't
Kevin,
mean
if
it.
that was
Maybe you don't mean
the
it.
deal,
Maybe you don't mean it.
I'd
When
have
you
a new roof.
maybe you don't totally mean it, but you certainly have said it. You have said it. You again, and I don't hold it against you because I'm like, here we go. Oh my gosh, I said the wrong thing. She's gonna hold it against me. Oh, that's it. Oh, if I say the one thing wrong, oh, that's it. Well, if it's been this long, you can wait longer. Tell me you haven't said
But
that
that's
plenty
not
of
a
times.
bargaining chip. You see, you're such a man. You're not listening.
Oh, you know what? You need to stop that too. You do that as
Stop.
well.
Listen, that's not what I said. I said as a bargaining chip.
Okay, there.
Okay, listen. Okay, I don't.
You got to get moving here.
Okay.
Let's go.
Also, it could be due to medical reasons.
And I get that.
When a woman goes through certain ailments and through certain stages in her life, sex can be painful. There's a lot of reasons that they can have sex. So you got to be mindful about that too. Your partner needs to communicate with you and try to work with you when it comes to that, because maybe that person is not mentally equipped right now to deal with that, because sometimes you have to be mentally prepared too. It's like not just have sex and no, I like to enjoy my sex. I like to enjoy you, but sometimes I'm not there. And sometimes people need to, work it out. Like, let's talk about this. What can we do to make things move smoothly or move forward, what have you? What do you have to say, sir?
I already said what I had to say.
Okay, so number 8, he feels endangered. Once more,
You want me to read
marital,
this one too?
huh?
You want me to read this one as well?
If I get stuck, you could pick
Go
it
ahead.
up because we're almost done, guys.
Are
One's marital home is meant to be a safe space where one can live without fear or risks. However, when a man's life is threatened by a woman he is married to, he may have to make the decision to leave.
to live.
To live, sorry. This fear of danger could be caused by domestic violence, threats to harm him, or fetishism on the part of the woman. In such instances, it is unexpected for the man to prioritize his safety over the marriage. He may therefore run into the arms of a woman whom he feels safe. If either one of you feel the need or you fear for your life, get out. I mean, it's easier said than done. I understand, because DV is hard, guys. I can't speak for it, thank God, knock on wood, but I've known plenty of people that've been through DV, and it's hard sometimes. You can't just get up and leave, but if you have the ability to get out, because that's your life. Look for help also. There are many lines out there to reach out to. Ask for friends and family to help you. As for fetishisms, if you're not into it, you're not into it. Period. If your partner they should respect your feelings. If you feel like, I don't like to be choked out or whatever, don't take it just to appease them. If you feel endangered, leave. Or speak to that person and say, this is how I feel. And hopefully they'll respect the way you feel.
Okay. I honestly, I haven't known too many. I can't think of any guy that has had this issue at all. Not that all the guys I know are macho, but no. I mean, and honestly, let's be honest too. That how many guys are going to say, my wife or my girlfriend beats the crap out of me?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Let's
we
be
don't
honest.
know exactly how many.
We don't know what's
because
going on
they
behind
don't
closed
speak
doors.
out. Yeah.
So I can't speak on this very much. But yeah, if it's I've been verbally abused. How about that? Like I said, I had that one relationship way back when. But I knew that I was like, nah, I'm not dealing with this nonsense. But there's some guys that they think they can handle it, or they think they could change them, or they think that they could ride it through. And look, if you're not comfortable with it from the beginning, then you're not going to be comfortable with it in the end.
Get out or get some help.
I mean,
Get
again,
professional.
I can't say it's easy to get out of it, but if you put yourself in that position, get out of that position.
Yeah. Okay, number 9, he is not content. If a man lacks contentment, he will never feel satisfied with his wife, no matter who she is, or what she does. A person lacking contentment will always feel what they have is not good enough as others, and they will do anything possible to chase what others have. A man's decision to leave his wife may not be due to the wife's fault. He probably simply lacks contentment. A man who is not content with his choice of partner will lack the patience to work out things during the difficult seasons of marriage, and may likely chicken out at the slightest encumbrance. For every married person, it is important to know that you will most likely meet other people who are better than others' spouse in some ramifications. However, contentment is to regard one's spouse as one's perfect fit, even with their imperfections. After all, we're all humans with imperfections, aren't we? No one makes you, I've heard this, I forgot who said it. I think Viola Davis said it. She goes, no one makes you happier than you. You make yourself happy. And we've been reading a lot on relationships, and we've been trying to better ourselves, basically. And you have to make yourself happy first in order to make someone else happy. So, I don't know. If you're not happy, it doesn't matter what the other person does. It's not gonna work. You gotta make yourself happy first. And seek professional help. Maybe it's depression. Maybe the person's depressed and they're never happy. When you're unhappy, it's contagious, and no matter what the other person does, they can't make you happy. So you have to make yourself happy first and seek help, professional help.
I think it goes back to the whole grass is greener. Mm-hmm. As well, where it's like, oh,
There's no
I'm not,
contentment.
you're finding reasons to not be happy in the relationship. Well, she doesn't do this for me, or he doesn't do
Emotional
that for me,
security too.
or whatever it is, and you also may be projecting from an earlier relationship that you're thinking, oh, well, she said this. No, maybe she did, but it may not have had the same meaning. I tell this to my staff all the time. If you're feeling a certain way about something, take a breath. Step back, take a breath, go for a little walk, drink some water, and look at the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. Because although you may be feeling a certain way, or maybe that person's not upset with you. Maybe they're just upset with the situation at the moment.
Or with themselves.
And they don't know how to react to it. Mm-hmm. Just be quiet for a minute. Let the dust settle. I'm going to use every metaphor I can, but let the dust settle. Let the noise quiet down, and look at the bigger picture. I've done this myself numerous times, mm-hmm. where I'm upset with you. And I'm going, you know what? No, it's probably not as big as I'm making it seem. Shut up. Take a moment. She's going through something. She may not realize what she's doing, or maybe I'm just reacting instead of going, hold on a minute, take into consideration how she's feeling or what she's going through. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Number 10, there's been change of interests. Change is the only constant thing in life. People change over time. Our interests are prone to change owing to the variable circumstances that surround our lives at each point in time. Therefore, if a man's interests no longer align with his wife's, he may consider this a tenable reason to leave his wife for another woman who seems to share his new interests. This is why intending couples...
You want me me to read?
Intending couples should, more importantly, check for each other's core values beyond interests. Our core values are more deeply rooted, more often to inform our interests. I can't. I keep on jumping over and over.
That's
Sorry,
what I
guys.
said. Let me finish reading it.
My eyes are very tired.
Okay.
Core-
Our core values are more deeply rooted and often inform our interests. Also, both partners need to grow together. If one partner is laid back while the other constantly invests in personal growth and development, their interests could become discordant.
Yes. We grow older together, and during that time, our interests and tastes change. For example, I started to scrapbook and have been doing so for over 20 years. I don't expect for him to sit next to me and start scrapbooking with me because that's not going to happen.
Not even a little.
And besides, that's my thing. You know, I'm not saying that I don't want you to be part of it. If you want to be part of it, you're more than welcome to. But it's my thing. It's my me time. I like that. And I have my own hobbies. He has his. Don't get me wrong. I like his hobbies too, but I don't sit there and I start building his little Lego model thingies and his comic books. I like comic books, but he likes certain ones. I like certain ones. And thank you for buying mine. I appreciate you for that. But that's his thing. We also find hobbies that we both like. For instance, hiking. We do that together. We're doing salsa classes now. Salsa. We love that. That's cool. So yeah, do your own thing, but try and find things that you both have in common, because as we grow older, our interests do change. But don't just drop the person like a hot potato because they don't want to do what you want to do. That's selfish.
Change of interests. Look, it goes back to the evolving of a relationship. Mm-hmm. No, you're not going to have the same interests for the rest of your lives. You're just not. And if you think you are, if you think you're married the same person, or you've gotten with the same person and they're the same person 5, 10, 15, 30 years later, then that's a bigger problem.
Yeah, I was about to say
okay. You need to grow. We had a guest on a few weeks back, right? That she had a two-parter with us, and one of the things was she grew, she evolved, and her first husband did not know how to. He just sat there expecting, and I remember having that conversation. Oh, I wish she was still the same person. She changed, and all I kept thinking to myself was, thank God she did. I mean, did you really want the same girl you grew up, you first started dating?
Well, some people are like that. They don't like change.
No, they don't like change. But,
they stagnant. So
they need to
she
stay
is
on
the
Big Bang
total
Theory if
opposite
that's the case.
from that. She is definitely not stagnant.
No, she is a
go-getter.
evolution in progress.
Yes.
And more power to her. More power to her.
Yes.
But you've got. You know what? And again, and it goes back to, this is your problem, not hers if that's the case. This is you thinking that it's always should stay the same. No.
There's individualism in couples.
Boobs get bigger. Things get tighter at times. Hurrah! Things get
okay. Number 11.
Okay, I was gonna say something else.
His wife can't give him a child. This is another one that burns my.
This one's a tough one, and we're running long here. This one's gonna be a tough one.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let me read it.
Yeah.
If a man wants to have children and his wife has fertility issues, he may prioritize his need for children over his relationship with his wife. Infertility is a huge test of couples' commitment to each other, and many men have failed this test. This is where the famous saying, for better or worse in sickness and in health, begs to be proven. People marry for several reasons. A man whose primary reason for getting married is procreation is unlikely to remain in the face of infertility. A tardive discovery of the medical incompatibility of the spouses could also lead to this. Ge- genotype and blood group, rhesus factor, incompatibility can make a man leave his wife as it could affect their chances of having children or healthy children. An unmanaged rhesus factor incompatibility could lead to serial miscarriages or inability to conceive. All these fertility struggles could make him choose to have a child out of wedlock, and leave his wife for his baby mama.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to be a little longer because I thought we were almost over, but no. Um, I don't even know how to start this issue. How dare you?
Wow! How dare you? Holy
Yes.
cow!
This is so unfair, for better or worse, like you said, you know, but some men don't have, I'm sorry, I'm going to be crude. They don't have the balls to stick around, okay? There are other ways to have children. Try to find a way together, okay? Also, there's a saying, it's better being alone than being with bad company. Do you really, girl, do you really want to be with a person that's not willing to work this matter through with all the technology and all the advances in science? You guys can still work at it to have a child. Don't just leave her because her body did not work the way they wanted it to be. Because trust me, she probably wants to have the child just as bad as you, or maybe even worse than you. She really wanted a child, but
She wanted to be a mother.
yes, I mean it's out of her control. Why would you punish her for that? Anyway, I can go on and on.
Yes, you can, and I think this is a topic for another episode more than anything.
Yes, absolutely. Fertility.
I don't want to get in too deep into it because I would like to save this for another episode.
Okay.
All right?
So you want to go to 12?
Yes, let's go
Okay.
to 12.
His wife nags. So you
If that's
that.
oh boy, this is funny because holy cow, his wife nags. Nagging is one thing that could drive a man up the wall and make him leave his wife for another woman. When a woman criticizes every action of her
Why do you
husband,
read it like that?
refuses to appreciate him, complains ceaselessly, focuses on his shortcomings, and threatens his peace of mind, he may get fed up and leave her for another woman. Go ahead.
Okay, you done with your theatrics there?
My
Got it.
theatrics.
Yes. Anyway, sometimes we have to nag, ladies. Am I right? Am I right? Okay.
There's nobody gonna hear it agreeing with you.
Trust me, they agree with me. Because sometimes we have to nag because you make us nag. And sometimes sometimes, however, there is such a thing as overdoing it. We need to choose our battles and reserve the nagging for the most annoying or most important battles. We sometimes criticize because we don't understand or communicate. I could criticize of something that he's done or said,
You could? No.
but I should
No.
ask or I should communicate better. Shut up. Was that nagging?
No, that was just you.
You
being
need to communicate.
mean.
If there's something that, before you nag, step back and think, okay, this is the fifth time I asked him to do X, Y, Z. Or better yet, it's been 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, or even more, because Xavier knows the exact number of him putting the shelf up for his son in his son's room. By the way, this is his son's old room, and it's still not done.
It's done. We're not putting anything else up.
Kevin, because your son finally moved out of the room. What's the point of putting up the shelves for him?
Yeah, I
Anyway,
put things up.
point
I put
is,
things up
we
on-
nag sometimes because that's how the only way we can get through sometimes. And sometimes we over nag, so they just completely ignore us. So you, like I said, you have to choose your battles, ladies, and communicate better. Maybe there's a reason why he doesn't want to do X, Y, Z, or why he talks a certain way when someone walks in the room and they know that bothers you. And communicate better. Just talk to each other and try and understand why this person Gets on your damn nerves so much.
Oh,
Makes
can I speak
nag.
now? Can I speak now?
Yes.
So, so the funny thing about me is, and it's funny because this just came up in my men's group, my church men's group last week.
About women nagging?
No, no, not
Oh, I was
not
gonna
that.
say,
No, 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 no.
Pastor June, we got a lot of talking to
No,
do.
no. It's funny because although I'm part of the men's group, and you know, we attend church rarely, but we do. I came clean and I said, I have never read the Bible. And
Yes, you have.
no, I read maybe the first, I don't know, what is it called? The
Well,
chapters and
not
stuff.
page
Can
turn.
let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. And my best friend was on, Paul, and this other guy, Mike, nice guy, and he was like, oh, well, you got to do it. You got to read it, and you got to, and you got to, and you got to, and you got to, and you got to. And Paul, who I've known for, wow, now how many years it's been? It's
I don't know.
got to be a close, it's going close, it's over 40 years. Let's just put it that way. We've been friends since I was like 6 years old. So you're figuring 47, 48 years, right? And Paul told the guy, Mike, said, if there's anything I know about Kev, is that don't tell him to do something.
Tell him what to do.
Don't tell him to do something. Let him do it on his own. Because if you tell him to do it, he is going to purposely not do it till he's ready to.
So then, can
And
I do
I'm
that?
still speaking, right? Because you love to nag and cut me off, right? So, unfortunately, I'm stubborn that way. And and there's some days where I literally, where you'll give me the freaking honey-do list, and I turn and I go, what is this? And I purposely go, I already have other things that I feel I have to do before that. And I will do everything on my list purposely.
Anything.
Just to not do. But mind you, the stuff that I had on my list was stuff that you were nagging me about to do prior. So you tend to add,
No shit,
add,
Sherlock.
add.
Shit gets
Oh, here
piled
we
up
go.
on people's
The
to-do list every
language from
day.
some people. If I spoke this way, I would be chastised. But of course, I am a Christian man.
Oh my God,
who
stop
holds,
it.
that tries to respect his wife. Not so much her wishes, but definitely respect his wife. And I don't speak to her that way. I hold her in high regard.
Kevin,
yes,
as soon
I
as this camera turns off.
No, but sincerely, I'm a stubborn mule when it comes to certain things where it's like, if you nag me about it, I'm going to be like, I'm not doing it. I'm going to do it when I'm ready to do it. Don't bother me about it. Now, if you tell me and lately, if you haven't noticed, because you have a bad habit of focusing on the negative, let's be honest, you do. And I will do things and I will do them. I'm trying to anticipate your needs, let's just say. And you're there like, well, it's about time you did it. I go, see, that's what bothers me. If I didn't even, I'm not even suggesting it, but you make me feel even lower. And don't get me wrong, I'm not leaving you for another woman for this, but I am feeling bad about myself, and I'm feeling like, man, what's the point of me even trying?
Okay, so can I rebuttal, or may I?
Clearly, go ahead.
My thing is, okay, so if you knew it had to be done, why do you wait till I get annoyed and ask you and nag you for it? Okay, so then if it's when you want to do it and
Sometimes
whenever
the
you
nagging
feel like
starts.
doing.
The nagging is the first thing you do before you even get to anything else. Like you'll raise your voice, or you'll scream, or you'll slam the doors, or you'll compare me to my father, or you do, and you do those things because you're trying to hurt me. Right?
Yes, and I'm
You're
learning.
trying to hurt me.
That's
and I sit there going,
but
it's not the girl I married, but it is the girl I'm married to. And you know what? It's something where let's finish on this point, because clearly this is going to be an argument. And let's not get into an argument. Let's not bicker. Okay?
we're not bickering.
We're
We
not-
just have difference of
And this episode's lasted more than it needed to, because clearly I'm not going anywhere. I'm getting nagged. I'm feeling
By
content.
the way, that was
The sex is
something
fine.
he sent me, and
And
I was
I
like,
just-
do I have something to worry
And as
about?
usual, I speak and she cuts me off. But yes, I love her to death. We're not going anywhere. Let me tell you, it is freaking crazy out there from what I understand.
yeah.
I am so glad I'm not in that crap. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping I go first, because I don't want to have to deal with trying to mess with anybody else or find someone else. I just don't want to deal with anybody's drama. Oh my God, I am so drama free. Other than you, and even you don't give me the drama like others would. You know what I'm trying to say. I cannot. And this is why I'm going to close this out. Just because.
Just let them know where you got it from, because
Yes, it was actually a Pinterest thing, where and the next episode will probably be another episode that's similar, but it's the flip side of it. I want to say, but yes, again, I just want to thank all those people that have downloaded this and listened to. I've been seeing Russia has picked this up again, the Netherlands, Switzerland,
would love to go ahead.
Norway, of course, the UK. What do you know? Blimies, you know what I mean? I don't know what else to call you guys. You know, you're taking your lifts to your flats and whatever that you're doing. But no, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for that. And Brazil has been a huge contributor.
Brazil.
And you Puerto Ricans, you guys are pissing me off. Because we're Puerto Rican. Yes, we may be New Yorican, but we are Puerto Rican.
Yeah, guys.
And I'm really annoyed by the fact that you
comment.
haven't bothered to freaking do anything about this.
Puerto Rico
I
has
want to
not
see this
been
on
once.
Spotify. I want to see this picked up on podcast, Apple Podcast, and you name it. Yeah, maybe you've listened to us through YouTube, but you know what? Put it out there, because you know what? We are New Yorican True Blue. Let me tell you, because like I said, we're even learning to do our salsa classes, and at some point, maybe we might do an episode on salsa. You know what I'm saying? And we might have to let the people in our salsa school know, and hopefully they don't go, oh my God, these people are doing a podcast. But whatever.
But the point is,
But again,
follow.
I am not going
share,
anywhere. I love her to
comment.
death. You know what I'm saying? She does things to me that I could, if I could
Kevin,
write.
enough.
Okay. Yes, because our boys listen to this and they get embarrassed, and I love it when they get embarrassed. Because you know what I say to them sometimes,
Oh,
especially
no,
the younger
okay,
ones?
guys,
No.
it was
I say
a
to them. I
pleasure.
say to them. No. I say to them. This I can say. I go. You may want to leave the room, and he's like, why? I go, because I'm going to do unspeakable things to your mother now. And he goes, I hate it here, and he stomps out.
He
But,
just
you know,
does it to get him out of
But
the
yeah,
room.
let's go Mets, if you haven't noticed. But and let's go my beautiful wife. She's the better half, because you know I'm lousy in lots of things. But thank you again for listening. Please follow and share. We're on all the platforms, and thank you so much. Visit our
Let us know
website.
if you want any encouragement.
Yeah, look at my hard nipple. Oh no, they're not showing.
Bye.
Look.
Bye.
Careful, Bill.